Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Kiki Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for another daily dose of Dismal Disney. We got a double dose today. We might even have a triple. We'll see how the day goes.
Yep.
This is coming from the New York Post. Disney accused of scamming a family for obnoxiously expensive $12,000 vacation. Mm-hmm. Now, this shouldn't surprise anyone who has looked into a Disney vacation, but there are a couple of caveats here. They did go to one of the most expensive resorts.
I don't think they booked it. They were booking it now. I don't think they, at the time he was complaining, had booked it yet. But yes, they were going with the Polynesian, and they were going with like the villas, which are very, very expensive. They're definitely going the deluxe route. You can go to, one of the other routes, even the Good Neighbor hotels, right? That you still get the same perks, but they're in Disney Springs area, and it's far, far less.
Yeah, so we'll talk about this because this guy is actually the target demographic. This is what Disney wants. He's a businessman, so he's got disposable income. And he's even like, Disney's way too damn expensive. So we'll talk about this a little bit more. Man, there's 263 comments on this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
So look, we've been talking about the cost of Disney for a while. And, unless you've been living under a rock, Disney is incredibly expensive.
Mm-hmm. And it just keeps going up. They said it was like up to 61% increase in just food prices in the last 10 years. The tickets for like special events, they used to be like $60, $70. Now they're like $220 and things like that. And we're talking in just a matter of 12 years. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, there are multiple ways to do Disney. Disney likes it when you spend over $10,000 on a week's vacation. That's their ideal. That's actually their goal, is to land people that can spend that kind of money. Even a more conservative Disney vacation is probably going to set you back $4,000 to $5,000.
At least, yeah.
At least. It used to be you could do it for a couple thousand. That is not the case anymore. The tickets are expensive. Genie Plus, dining, all this stuff. You can do Disney cheaper, but it actually is more work. They make it more work, I think, because you can just book the ridiculously overpriced Disney vacation on your app, and that's what they want.
Well, I think what they're talking about, because they're going through the agent, is this talking about the theme parks and passes. I don't know if they have dining plans or not, but just the resort passes and the tickets. That isn't like your Genie Plus and all that, unless they add that in early, because $12,000. That doesn't account for a lot of other things like travel and everything else.
Yeah, so here's his initial post, and then the New York Post did a whole article about wife is planning a Disney trip for the family. Travel agent is saying it's going to be over $12,000. 2 rooms at the Polynesian.
2 rooms at the Poly. For heaven's sakes. Just that will run you how much money?
We're talking, over $700, $800 a night. Now, this is the thing. The Disney hotels cost about 3 times as much as they should. You're paying for the convenience, but they are.
But they don't have to pay the taxes on it.
Right. You're
paying for the Disney difference in the Disney name, but then they don't have to pay taxes on the Disney name.
Yeah, that's a whole nother issue. But am I being scammed, or is Disney really this obnoxiously expensive?
Actually, if you're for the 2 rooms at the Poly, that's actually pretty low.
That actually is pretty low. So no, you're getting sticker shock from Disney. Disney is not cheap anymore. It hasn't been for a while. He said that according to Singh, a travel agent informed the family it'd be more than $12,000. Yeah, he said the Polynesian is around $600 a night per room, depending on avail. It's more than that.
It depends.
The replies to the post were highly critical of Disney and its exorbitant prices on X. I can't imagine that. Wait until you see the food bill.
Yep,
said one user. Might as well hand them the login to my bank accounts. Oh, they'd love that.
That's what he said, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone said Disney is legit. A scam is truly insane. Disney guests are paying to stand in line for 80% of the time, which is not untrue.
That's pretty true.
They said, according to touring plans, Polynesian it costs about $691 and $5,825, depending where you're at.
You got off easy.
Yeah. And they said, talk about the other deluxes, which are the Grand Floridian and Bay Lake Tower. You can definitely go to the Boardwalk, the Boardwalk's pretty pricey too. The Yacht Club, Beach Club, and it would be a little bit less.
I like the Beach Club.
Yeah, they would be a little less. They'd be less. These ones are because they're by the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, walking distance,
right.
Monorail, and hey, true story. The Beatles actually broke up at the Polynesian. That's where John Lennon signed the paperwork. So there you
Yep,
go.
there you go. So they said that there was an article we talked about before about, a vacation costs you anywhere between $4,200 to $42,000, depending on where you stay, how long. That's for a week long. I'm sorry. Where you stay, how much you want it, what perks you want to add, if you want to add tour guides and everything else.
Yeah, and look, it's Disney is not cheap. There's no way to do Disney cheaply, and I think this is not anymore. You can do it cheaper, but it's not. This isn't a family theme park anymore. It's basically Vegas with a bunch of fursuiters.
But Vegas is cheaper.
Vegas is cheaper.
Vegas is cheaper. Yeah, and spend money.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, that one time I went to Vegas, I stayed at a pretty nice hotel. They had a monorail too. It was actually a Disney monorail, and it was a fraction of what would cost to stay at Disney. It was insane. But yeah, you can go. I mean, we joke with people, and it's 100% true. You can go to real Europe. You can go to actual Europe, and it's cheaper than going to Disney Europe at Epcot, and it's better.
They're saying if you go down the article a little bit more, they're talking about how people are choosing to go other places. Yeah, they said Wall Street Journal reported there's a growing trend. Millennials are opting to take their families to regional amusement parks or the Great Wolf Lodge instead of going to Disney or Universal because it's so expensive.
Well, I think that is playing into the stock price some because, look, everybody else is up, right?
I think it's a lot. There's a lot going on. That's just maybe part of it.
There's a lot going on, but I think, and we talked about this in the previous video, with Abigail Disney withholding her spending. If you haven't seen it, go out and see it. She's not going to be giving any money to the Democrats until they get Joe Biden out of there because she's like, he's not going to win. But I think that a lot of people are holding off on that vacation until they see which way the election goes. And I think that investors are looking at when the economy's bad, one of the first things to go are these luxury vacations. Mm-hmm. And Disney absolutely is a luxury item. And a lot of people just can't afford it. They've even priced out it was like Disney, a long time ago, Disney priced out the lower class. Lower class really never could afford Disney, but they would try to scrimp and save whatever. Then the lower middle class got priced out. Then the middle class is not even for them anymore. They have to put it on their credit cards. Then upper middle class, it got to a point where it's like, this is like ridiculously expensive. And honestly, the upper class, the business owners, these people are looking at numbers and they're like, this isn't a good value. I could buy a car. A used car, but I could buy a car for this. Right.
It's ridiculous. It is, and it is going up and up. I'm just like, where have you been? What rock have you been under this entire time?
Well, he probably wasn't paying attention to it until he started looking at it. She probably hit him with the bill like, hey, honey, it's going to be $12,000 to go to Disney. He's probably thinking to himself like, how much does it cost to go to an amusement park? That can't be that much. It's like, okay, $100 to get a person to get in, whatever. It's not
what are the comments on the New York Post article?
We're going there because that is going to be gold, I'm sure. The Big Ragu says, we lived in Tampa and the only way to see the mouse after Labor Day and before Thanksgiving because of the expense. And that was a while ago. Unlimited local passes were $99 for each of us. You can't. There are no light crowds anymore.
I thought it was funny. He's an accountant, investment banker, franchise owner, and everything else. How did he get these jobs with such little intellect? I know they're finance jobs. How did he not know about this? I kind of was wondering that too.
Yeah, to be fair, his wife is the one with little intellect. He's the one that went on social media to complain about it, and if he to ask if he's being scammed. Yeah, no, you're not being scammed. That is what it costs. If you're being scammed,
is it worth it? Is the
scammed.
Question? Yes.
No. But that's what people are paying for it, so they're going to charge it. Is it worth it? No, it's not worth $12,000.
People are talking about how they go to different places because they actually bought a house in these locations, and it's easier to go there for a week with the house. Disney makes you wait hours in line for a ride and charges others for the privilege of being able to jump ahead.
Yeah.
It seems like they have a vested interest in long lines. Yes.
Yes.
It's rigged unless you fork over money.
Yeah,
yes.
It basically is gambling at this point, right? It's kind of like I said, your ticket is general admission to the park for the chance to possibly maybe ride some rides, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, wait in line all day. But it behooves them to keep you in line because then they're keeping you in one place. And if you have to wait longer in line and it's frustrating you, which I've talked about at length many times, you're more likely to pay for the upcharge. Wait in another line, but it moves faster.
Well, it's that sunk cost fallacy. I think that man, I can't get past the ads on New York Post. I can't even get to the comments anymore. It's the sunk cost fallacy. So basically, you have already spent $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 on your Disney vacation. What's another $2,000 or $3,000 just to be able to ride
to make sure
stuff?
It's not ruined. Yeah,
and that's what people are doing, and they do target a lot of wealthy families from like New York and California. Not so much. They usually go to Disneyland, but I know New York is like the honey hole. That's where they're always targeting New York because it costs a lot of money to live in New York, right? And if you've already spent that much money, you're going to spend extra because I don't want to lose $10,000. I'd rather spend $12,000, make sure we can actually ride everything. So let's go get the tour guide and let's go get the, let's do the Genie Plus. And they know that. That's why they're doing it. I mean, we've got all these Disney influencers all of a sudden turning on Disney. People that have been Disney fans for years. And I think it was actually Braden.
Sir Mickey.
Sir Braden from Mickey Views. They had the video out there talking about FastPass. And it was I think it was on Twitter.
Oh, it was a really good video. We shared it.
It was a really good video, and how it used to be free and Disney used to give you value, and it was family friendly, and it was like,
they said we do this because the difference for Disney is you can come here and we'll give this to you for free.
Yeah, we'll give you. Yeah,
we're about your vacation. We're here to, because we'll do things other people don't do, and it's like now you're paying more for less.
Yes.
And then they want to charge you for every little thing. And then Iger's the one who took free parking away at the hotels. And then when he came back, I'm giving you back free parking. It's like, kiss my ass. Like, you're the one who took it away in the first place.
I'm giving you back free parking, but we're going to raise the cost of the rooms. So you're not actually getting the parking for free.
Well, for example, the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party went up $20 from the base ticket and $20 to the highest ticket. And, it's not worth it at that price. No. I mean, really. I mean, I guess if you were thinking a regular ticket in Genie Plus, maybe, but you're not getting as much time. And then they're like, acting like it's a value. It would cost a family of 4 at the high end over $900 with tax. It was $1,000 to go to one after hours event at Disney.
Yeah.
It's insane. And
they're not even worth it. The after hours events are just as crowded as a regular day in the Magic Kingdom. And they used to be worth it. It used to be like, wow, you can actually get on stuff. So
you got the low crowds. But they say that you do. I don't buy it.
I don't buy it either.
Because I've been there. It was less crowded before the party.
Last Halloween we did, last Christmas we did, they were incredibly packed.
And they were way cheaper then. Mm-hmm. I mean, the inflation on those tickets is ridiculous because they know people will pay it.
Well, that's just it. When does the price gouging stop? It stops when people stop going to Disney and paying $12,000 for a subpar vacation. That's when it stops. However, a lot of upper middle class wives, and it usually is wives. I'm not trying to dunk on geeky here, but Disney flat out. I have this directly from Disney. They said they target wives, because the wives are the ones who usually push for these vacations. So that's why the marketing is more female-centric. I'm
like, if you're going to spend $12,000, you're better to go to a cheaper hotel, to go to a moderate, I personally like the Yacht and Beach Club. I mean, they're still deluxes, but they're less expensive because you can walk places. But go to a cheaper hotel or go to a Good Neighbor hotel and then use your money to get the tour guides. And then you could, then you can go wherever you want. Get park hopper passes, get the tour guides, and then you can get way more. I mean, it's going to cost you a small fortune. At least get tour guides for a day or two. But you're going to spend $12,000 flipping dollars anyway.
Yeah, and that's about I hate to break it to you. That's about the only way you're going to get to ride everything, too. I mean, the tour guide is basically an unlimited fast pass machine, and they're knowledgeable, too. But like they're able to get you on the stuff a lot faster. But again, you can't do Disney like you used to do Disney, just paying the ticket, the price of admission.
No, you can't. You have to pay up charges. You can if you know what you're doing.
They've learned
but most people don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's pay to win. They've learned from video games. They've learned from mobile apps. It's pay to win. You buy the base game and then you have to buy the DLC.
They're doing that too with some of these rides. Like if you don't get the virtual queue, the only way you can ride it is if you pay for the lightning lane access.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to pay again. So the whole thing is a scam. You can do it without the stuff if you know what you're doing, but most people don't, and so they're going to be required to do it. So anyway.
Yeah,
we're gonna
wrap this up.
Disney's expensive. No shit. Where have you been?
Yeah, you haven't been paying attention. I mean, we've been talking about it extensively, but anybody who books these trips will know how expensive it's gotten in the last couple of years. Just stop paying it, and then the price will go down. Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.